Look, regardless of how Harry's interviews landed, aye, he's no the sharpest tool in the royal tool shed, But let's not forget how this started. The British press went after Meghan Markle with a vengeance. And not because she did anything scandalous, for the crime of being mixed race, American, a feminist woman marrying into the whitest institution in Britain, and it was heavy on the racist stuff. The Daily Mail ran Harry's girl is almost straight out of Compton, then talked about her mother's gang-scarred home. I bet you didn't know she worked in television and then did a master's and became a social worker. Another headline said, Meghan's exotic DNA, exotic as in half African American, the African part, not able to say which part of Africa our ancestors were from because you know the whole transatlantic slavery thing. I doubt they're talking about her father's German ancestry. Nah, we don't have a problem with Germans in the British royal family, do we? They called her uppity, difficult and too woke for Windsor, all while praising Kate for doing the exact same things. Meghan ate avocado toast. Apparently she was fueling drought and human rights abuses. The dividing factor in press treatment here, skin pigmentation. It wasn't random. Bot Sentinel found 70% of hate tweets came from just 83 accounts. A coordinated campaign. Maybe the same 83 guys that jump on my Reform UK content. MP Chris Bryant said the press monetised the hate. They filled their websites with Meghan Markle bashing because it got clicks. And clicks mean money. He called it a perversion of journalism. When US Weekly published a glowing piece about Meghan's leadership, the Daily Beast hit back with an anonymous source hit job, clearly coordinated. There are even allegations tabloids tried to pay people to lie about her. And keep in mind, she lived in the UK for about 3 years, barely spoke in public. But the smear campaign was a daily thing. Because they're not about her. They're about preserving a narrative. The British press used Meghan to stir up cliques, culture wars and online abuse. The same machine that delivered Brexit, small boat hysteria, and now it's Frankenstein monster, Farage. All while the monarchy kept cashing in royal cheques, and we paid for it. In 2023, the monarchy cost UK taxpayers 86 million. An institution worth billions that still won't pay inheritance tax like the rest of us. Let's be clear, King Charles does not pay tax on the Duchy of Lancaster. Doesn't even pay the 40% inheritance tax like the rest of us. And that's not symbolic wealth, it's land, rent and profits. Like him and many other large landowners, this is land seized way back in the time of William the Conqueror during the Norman conquest. That's how backward this setup is. All the while we are told by Labour they can't afford winter fuel payments or PIP. The Tories told us we couldn't afford anything, left the NHS on its knees, schools crumbling and closed half everything. But somehow there's always money for gold-plated parades and royal helicopters. So let's talk about fairness. Not Meghan's tone, not Harry's memoir or daft interviews. Let's talk about why you and I pay more tax on our wages than a king does on his estate. The press framed Meghan as a problem because she made the monarchy look outdated. When in reality it is outdated by at least a couple centuries. And the mechanism that has preserved the status quo hasn't done it any favours in that regard. Meghan's inclusion in the royals was symbolic for many modern Brits. Her inclusion was a type of progress. We live in a multicultural country, whether Farage likes it or not. Why? Because the Crown oversaw the conquest and ruling of a multicultural empire. Because after the war, we needed the Windrush generation and the South Asians to rebuild the country. Because even today, the memory of that caste system put in place during the Empire days means many around the world aspire to come to the UK for a better life. And we're all the better for it. As a Scot, I'm delighted we no longer have to share this island with those crusty Anglo-Saxons alone. I prefer curry and drum and bass to pork pies and Morris dancing. We like to think ourselves as more evolved, sophisticated society than Americans. But they've had a black president. The man, the legend Obama. And their queen is black. But for the media and the Tory-centric political class clinging to nostalgia and hierarchy, Meghan was apparently dangerous. So much so they went full blitzkrieg on her. Headline after headline, click after click. But if we're honest, this wasn't just about Meghan. It's about a country where truth is optional, history is selective, racism is lucrative, and now the centre of a new political party. And privilege gets a pass. I hope you drew your own conclusions on that one. And if that doesn't piss you off, then ask yourself this. Who's really benefiting when you stay angry at the wrong people? Let me know. Should the monarchy be taxed like the rest of us?